Morning YouTubers, 43 days, 20 hours till Ironman. Just off to the gym now for a 1 hour easy ride, heart rate zone 2. I have a naked bar and a banana with me, along with 22 ounces of hydration, electrolyte drink. Looking forward to it. If you can see me now, I'm actually in my cycling bib underneath this, and it's cold out. And I can imagine I look a bit daft for the average person. And driving with a pad is not the most comfortable of things, so there's that for the morning. Been reaching out and really connecting with a load of people that are experienced within the tri-world community over the last 2 weeks. Thankfully, everybody's replied. Had some really nice support from swim coaches, runners, people involved in marketing and promoting Ironman specific events. Also reached out to a brand that, as I said, I've ordered their stuff now, but I like them. There's good energy about it, and I think for me, I generally will go off not only the practicality of an item and the reviews and the affordability, but also the ethical quality of the company as well. And the company that I've chosen, I get a good feeling about them. So let's hope that their kit holds up to my limited understanding and limited use. So yesterday I did a podcast on whether or not we need a coach or a fitness expert professional. And the reason I spurred that kind of thinking off, or what triggered that thinking, was an email from the Ironman brand promoting their Ironman coach program, where as a PT or as a complete newbie you can qualify or attend and learn all that's required for not only a one-off kind of fee to kickstart things, but also as an ongoing thing. Having sold and currently sell subscription-based business models and products, I'd probably say that I'm not that impressed, to be honest, with the way in which they've done it. You have to pay your yearly membership or your subscription fee on a monthly basis. They give you 3 months free, and then it's an ongoing thing, and actually works out relatively expensive. So once you're qualified, you can't call yourself a trademarked coach unless you're paying that monthly fee, and they basically lock down all of your access to the coaching and training material. So I think, if you're going to pay for it and you become a coach, I think it's important you have that, you can utilise that name, definitely. But if you want access to their good quality training material, which obviously they're going to be updating on a regular basis to keep you hooked and make it worthwhile, then I think that obviously should be the subscription. You're paying for that ongoing training material, and the resources, not the fact that you can't call yourself the coach. And then when you have to reapply, you have to resit the tests. I'm not a great fan for that. Anyway, that's what inspired my thinking and my understanding. And I know there's yearly advancements and daily advancements in food, in the understanding of the body. But really, if you look back over the 100 years or since Victorian era, our medicine, our understanding of the human body hasn't really shifted, unless you're taking a extreme stance or going the other end of the spectrum and basing it around a more alternative or Eastern understanding as opposed to a Western medicine. So, do we need a coach? I've gone off topic a little bit. For me, it depends on self. People asking me all the time, how do I keep my motivation going? How do I do this? How do I keep myself accountable? But they're the people I think that should have a coach, or certainly start with a coach. And there's again various different information needs behind a coach. Are you after the knowledge but have masses of motivation, commitment, and you can be accountable? So you're after gaining knowledge from a coach. Are you after the accountability? Someone that's going to be there with you for that hour and make sure that you keep to those zones or the expectations of that training session. Are you after inspiration, not just accountability? Are you after a charismatic individual that can really inspire you to do greater and bigger things and push those internal beliefs and boundaries? So there's a different reason behind needing coaches or fitness instructors. If you've got a base level or at least a good understanding of health, fitness, technique, you're confident you can deliver that on your own, but lack the motivation, lack the ability to commit, then the type of coach that you're going to need is probably someone a lot different than if you want to run a sub 3-hour marathon. You're going to need someone completely different. As a coach, my job, and it's always been my job, not in the fitness industry but in the mindful well-being industry, my job is always to give all of the information and educate, and then allow the client then to come back if they need the other two, if they need the inspiration, if they need the accountability. I'm not one of these people that would drip feed information to people in the hope that I can drag out their payment structure and tell them they need therapy on an ongoing basis. I don't subscribe to that. I don't think that's particularly ethical. So if you're watching this video and you're undecided whether you need a coach or not, I think you need to assess those 3 areas. What are you after out of a coach? What are you hoping they can bring to the table? And then think long term. So think how having that coach. So let's say you're after an Olympic coach. They're going to be a lot more expensive than Billy down your local fitness centre. However, if you go long term, think legacy statement. Think what that impact is going to have on your life, and work backwards. The investment actually is a lot greater. If you're going to hire Billy to help you achieve your sub X hour marathon, but he's done let's say reps 1, 2 and 3, but hasn't specialised in that specific sport, he may have the overall understanding about what is required. If he can't run 10k in 30 minutes, or an hour, sorry, then he's probably not the right person to be speaking to. So, that Olympic athlete, or that Olympic coach, may be a hell of a lot more expensive. 5, even 10 times more expensive. But the information they hold and the support they can give you will be magnified by at least 100%, more so. They have the understanding, they've worked with people. Now, I haven't hired a coach because I don't have any aspirations or to finish in a certain time. I've built my training program based around my own understanding, my belief structure, and something that I think is going to work for me. But that's only because I understand and have done follow programs before, and I know where my weaknesses are. They're not in the motivation, they're not in the commitment, they're in the understanding or the knowledge. And because of that, I search and seek out that knowledge in ways in which I can utilise. I utilise online knowledge. I don't believe everything I read. I research and I look for the arguments against. And that's a good point, actually. One thing that I've met a lot of people, especially within the weight loss industry, they say, oh, I'm going on a shake-based diet, of which I completely am against. What's the point of subscribing to something for 12 weeks or 8 weeks, consuming chemicals and liquid and not a staple diet, then coming off that? If you're going to live on a shake diet for the rest of your life, then go ahead. If you're going to go back to eating normally, then you need to educate yourself in a completely different way. Rather than spending all that money on shakes, go to a cooking school based around wellness, fitness, health and nutrition. Become an expert in weight loss. That's the easiest and most effective way to become healthy. And when I mean weight loss, I don't mean weight loss, I mean fat loss. Just because you lose weight doesn't mean you're healthy. So the investment in somebody else is key if they have that understanding. But yeah, just going back to my training on this journey, I understand where I'm going, I understand what is required of me, and as a result of that, I can seek out and argue and look at both sides of the coin. As I said, the weight loss industry is full of people giving information of what you should do and what you shouldn't do, but ultimately they just repackage it as what you should do. I'd look for the scientific studies that go against and argue against what you're thinking of doing. If you're going to follow an 8-week program to achieve a marathon, then look for all of the reasons why that 8-week program won't work, and then gauge or make your judgment based on that. And that is normally the quickest and most easiest and practical way to find the best solution for you. And that's only from my own past experience. I wrote a book called Abs for Dads a few years ago. That's when I was probably at my leanest and had the greatest density of muscle mass. And during my research for that, I learned a lot of what the industry thought was acceptable to palm out, and I just waded through all the rubbish and put it down in real simple terms of what you needed to consume. Real basic, keeping things incredibly simple and looking at what exercises actually engage those muscles. Removed all the stuff that people associate with what's required. Removed all the PR, the marketing, and as I said, just kept the message really simple, kept the delivery simple. I think that's again what you've got to do. Go back to basics, go back to baby mind, which I was talking about not so long ago. So that's it. If you need a coach, ask yourself why, and then go legacy and work backwards and think about what impact that coach is going to have based on your long-term goals. Also ask yourself how long you're going to think you need that coach, and if they attempt to subscribe you or get you to sign up to a mass long program, the question I'd be asking is why can't they provide you with all that information within a short period of time, if the information is required or the knowledge is required, or if need be, go and do a PT course or a fitness course yourself, become an expert in that, but then don't rely on it. Sometimes people spend more money on fitness instructors than they do than if they were actually going to get qualified themselves. I'm not saying that's suitable for everyone. Some people don't have the time, and it's convenient to have someone at your local gym to put together those programs for you. But off-the-shelf training program, which I'm not saying all PTs deliver, but a lot in the commercial gyms, I would probably say they're not suitable for you as an individual. Why? Because they're not particularly paid very well, the PTs, not saying they're not good, they're not paid particularly well, and they're relied upon to get members and volume in order for them to go up their tier structure in their gym or their facility. They obviously have mortgages to pay, and they're more incentivized based on those. Personal independent PTs outside of those commercial gym have slightly different motives and have the time, probably charging a little bit more to write a specific training program for you. All I'm saying is be aware. Most of the time it's not the PT that is restricted, it's the commercial environment they're in. So on that note, I'm going to train in my commercial environment but without PT. If I don't catch up with you after my ride, then I will speak to you later, probably just before my swim. For now, peace out. There we go, all done. It was an hour ride, heart rate zones 2, went up to 2.3 at some stage, covered 20 or 19 miles, 19.4 miles I think. Consumed 22 ounces of fuel, as I said in this morning's video, and naked bar, gel and a banana. Felt good. Actually had company talking to me for the whole hour. Was able to hold a conversation without feeling out of breath, without feeling the need to slow down or speed up or pause. The conversation was free of pretty much any restrictions. So that's it. It was just, good. Certainly can see my cycling or my ability to ride for time now improving. I feel a lot more comfortable now cycling than I've ever done before. And you could say that's natural progression, but I think there's also an element of confidence. I think those longer rides I've been doing have been adding to that confidence, adding to the belief that I can sit on a bike for an hour and not feel totally consumed by fatigue. So yeah, that's it. Unfatigued, an hour on the bike now feels like I can, sit there for time. And I know on the day we're looking at 6-7 hours, multiplying that by 7, but in my head I'm thinking that one, there's going to be no ego, it's going to be comfortable, it's going to be a lot more scenic, it's going to be 1800 minimum really other people there offering good energy. And that's one of the things I'm really excited about, is just getting in amongst the people, especially while you're waiting at the swim area, where there's abundance of anxiety, apprehension, excitement, adrenaline. All these people are pumped up, ready to go. All those hundreds and millions of hours that everyone's consumed within their life to this one event, and it all starts at the horn, whatever they're using, the bang. It all starts right there, and it's released. And I've been in large crowds before. I've spoken in front of hundreds and hundreds of people, various seminars and events. I've never, I don't think, been immersed in that volume of people in that circumstance. In actual fact, I haven't. I'm just quickly going back in my head, in my mind. I haven't. I've never been in that circumstance before. So it's going to be a new experience for me, and I think that's one of the things I'm really super excited about, is just going through that and experiencing it for the first time. So yeah, so that's where I'm at. That's the thought train that I'm on at the moment. There's a lot of excitement. So that's it for now. I will catch up with you later on. Hi guys. So this is day 7 of my blood glucose test. I've literally just got back in from my swim. I haven't eaten lunch today. I actually missed out lunch, so this is going to be really interesting to see how well it's affected my blood glucose. So there we have it, 4.4. So it is pretty low compared to what it was the other day when I did the 50-mile ride and fueled as per my plan throughout. So that's it, day 7 of my blood glucose test, 4.4. So here we have it, day 7 of my urinalysis test, and one thing is apparent. Now, I missed out on lunch today. You'd know that already if you've just carried on from watching one of my previous videos or part of my 100 Days to Ironman playlist. But I missed out on lunch today through lack of preparation, and it's had an effect. I've just finished a 2,000 meter swim. I've kept hydrated throughout the day, but missed out on an all-important meal, and my blood levels were particularly low at 5.5 blood glucose. So here we have it. This is the main change, and it is my ketosis. So I'm definitely not down here, you can't really see, but I'm certainly here at this trace level. My hydration levels are probably 1.010. It looks slightly differently on the screen, and I've waited the right amount of time, but yeah, that's the only shift that I've seen since I've been doing this, and that is due to, as I said, not eating my lunch. It wasn't a purposeful choice, it was just through, as I said, poor preparation. pH levels are at 5.0, and blood is fine, and all the others are above are fine. So yeah, the two major changes that I've seen is the pH level is right down at 5.0, and the ketosis state is the first time it's been here at the trace, and that is due to lack of food and and exercise this afternoon, second exercise of the day. Evening, not much really to report today. You can see I'm pretty red. I've just got in from a swim, 2,000 meter swim. Major change today in the fact that I didn't prepare properly my food and actually missed out on lunch. And it's had an effect on my blood and on my urine, which you would have seen in the videos previously. It was my mistake. There's no getting away from it. You know, I've got ownership over it. So I'm just about to have a big sweet potato and steak meal with a side order of salad. So the sweet potatoes are in the oven now. But funny enough, during the swim I actually felt good. I felt light in the pool. Although it was only 2,000 meters, I could tell there was a noticeable difference in my performance, in how I was feeling, how I was sitting in the water. So that could have something to do with it as well. Overall, feeling good. So this morning I had an hour on the bike, 20 odd miles and 19.4 miles I think it was, I can't remember offhand. And then I've been literally non-stop all day, out, work commitments, meetings, that kind of thing. Didn't think I'd be out for as long as I was, so missed out on food. I'm hungry, so I know that the body's certainly craving for it, needs it. but kept hydrated. I always keep some electrolytes with me in the car, keep a bottle of water in the car ready, so if I am out and get caught short, I've always got some water with me. So that's it for today. Sorry it's not particularly interesting, not much really to report. Some good advancements with bits and pieces happening. Oh, there is one thing. One great thing. iTunes has just featured my podcast as one of the most in their new and noteworthy category in the health and fitness. So if you haven't yet checked out my podcast, please look in the description below, and there is a link in there that takes you directly through to iTunes. If you can't get it to it that way, then all you need to do is search 100 Man in the iTunes library and it will come up there. So that was a really good, really surprised at that, really happy with that. There's been no marketing or anything done with any of my videos so far. Everything is completely generic and I'm just throwing it out there. An honest, unscripted opinion of, how I'm feeling on a day-by-day basis. So it's nice that it's been picked up. People are listening to it, and as a result of that, then iTunes have categorized or noticed it. So yeah, really appreciative of that. There was never an intention to build this into anything. It was just documenting my journey, and that's how I'm going, and that's what I'm going to do. Continue to the end and see what comes of it. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good evening. Please remember to subscribe, leave some good comments, and let me know how you're getting on in your journey. It's nice to hear from people out there who are going through the same stresses, struggles, enjoyment, happiness, excitement, and living, I guess, all things try at the moment. Have a good evening. Peace out. Be safe. And I will see you first thing tomorrow morning.